Fisherman Peter Maki says, Salt Strong raises the bar again. This is unparalleled in the fishing and boating world. I appreciate all the work invested in this Smart Fishing Spots app. Angler Neil Haygood says, thanks for what looks to be an awesome Swiss Army knife of fishing apps. Guys, Joe Simons here with Salt Strong. If you haven't checked out the Smart Fishing Spots app and software, what the heck are you waiting on? This is next level. It is the all-in-one app, has everything from radar and sonar and tides and wind and weather and this underwater 3D charts. It is absolutely amazing for tracking all of your trips and predicting the best time and tide and time of day to go out there and catch inshore slams. It is all there in the Smart Fishing Spots app. And the best news is it's completely for free for our insider members. So if you've been on the fence, I hope this is what takes you over the edge. Come join us. It's saltstrong.com. You'll see a button to join us. For you current members, thank you guys so much. We have a whole lot more coming. Here's the episode.
It's in my soul. Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
Hello, Salt Strong Nation. Joe Simons. Like diamonds. Got Luke. Got Nick. What's up, gents?
Hey, guys.
The platform got even better.
Yes, it did. And today we're talking about oysters, how to find oyster bars are the quickest way I've ever seen, and seagrass as well. This is one of the latest and greatest new and improved features of the Smart Fishing Spot system that all of our insiders get for free as a member. And we've teased this a couple times in the past that there's going to be a version 2, if you will, or an upgrade. This isn't it. This is just something, this is just a cool add-on from kind of V, meaning version number 1. The version number 2 that we've been teasing with some really exciting things that are even going to trump this is coming in the month of July. So coming very soon, but this isn't even like the most exciting part, but this is, in my opinion, pretty game-changing because from a pretty far out view, we're going to show you. If you're listening, you'll have to go watch this episode if you're listening on the podcast. But if you're watching this, you're about to see Nick demonstrate how to find these oyster bars and seagrass beds with the click of a mouse. And it's really, really fascinating. You can even drop a pin and get the coordinates. And we're doing this not just in Florida, not just in Texas, but in the Carolinas and pretty much anywhere we can find this data, we're pulling this in. It's going to take a little while for some of the other states, but I think, Nick, for the most part, Florida's kind of done.
Yeah, Florida. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Florida's done. Most of Texas is done, and we're starting to focus on the Carolinas, some of the other states.
All right, well, let's dive in, dude. Show us how this works. How to find oyster bars.
Let me add one thing too, in case somebody's like, "Why do I care about where oyster bars and seagrass is?" If you're going after redfish, sea trout, snook, flounder, that's what you want. That they will be congregating on those areas. So if you're in an area with a lot of seagrass and a little bit of oysters, finding the oyster bars can be game changers. Like for my area where I fish Tampa and a lot of the Central Gulf. Finding oyster bars is crucial, and this platform will literally highlight it so you will know exactly where every one of them are with the click of the button. Yep. And if you're in an area with a lot of oysters, then finding those little patches of seagrass can be game changers as well. And this platform does it both. So this is the quickest way to get onto some of the best feeding zones in your area or when you're traveling to new areas that I've ever seen. And the fact that it's all in one spot, this has never been done before that I've ever seen. And as you'll see, it's very easy to do. And most importantly, it makes it where it's as user-friendly as possible.
Yep, and it's all part of this app, Smart Fishing Spots, free for our insider members. Just one more reason to join. Remember, Luke, we did a book review. It was a while back, and I'm blanking on the guy's name, but he was a professional fisherman from Texas, well-known guy, wrote the book, and he had a chapter in there about the best fishing spot. And he's like, if I could only pick one type of spot to fish, if like it was only limited to one type of spot, it would be oysters without a doubt. He's like, all I would fish is oysters if that's all I could do. So this is incredibly powerful. I'm glad you brought it up. Nick, without further ado, let's see what you got, Oyster Boy.
All right, let's do it. So first thing I'm going to do is the forecast we have up top. I'm going to minimize that so I can get a full view of the map. And I'm just going to zoom into an area that I think I'm going to be fishing in the future. Let's kind of go in this area here. So in our layers, so you click on this little gear icon, and then this is the layer icon. You're going to see two new buttons. There's oyster beds and seagrass. So I'm going to click oyster beds, and immediately it highlights oyster beds within a 100-mile radius of the center of my map. So then as I zoom in, I can pan, and it's going to load in other oyster beds so that I can find them.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So now let me zoom in. You can actually see. So I'll toggle the oyster beds on and off. So I'll take them off, and you can see a little bit in the satellite where they are.
But dude, most people would miss like that one right there. Most people would miss that just looking at a normal satellite map.
Absolutely. Like look at this one right here. If I turn it off, you can't even see it on the map. And a lot of the latest Google satellite imagery is starting to get some reflection on the water, and you can't quite read what's under the water in the shallower depths. So with this, like you can see, it totally highlights that area. And then what's really cool is you'll be able to click our little marker tool here. And then you can drop a pin, and it'll give you the GPS coordinates for that oyster bar. The other thing you'll be able to do is you can actually go into our routes tool, and you can create a route on actually getting out there, and you can highlight some of these. You can just create your trip plan basically, and then you can export that and import it into your GPS device. So let me go back. I'm going to go ahead and clear.
So sick. Luke, like what if we had this 10 years ago? I mean,
even last month, it would have been helpful. Like literally, this really is a game changer. And because I one of my favorite things to do is just explore new areas. And I was down in Manatee River really just last week and fishing areas I've never been to before. And I was just looking around, and I clicked that oyster bar area, and a couple spots popped up that I didn't realize was good, and I totally skipped over them because I just didn't know it was there. And this is the fact that it's there, and I can do it on my phone. Like all this is available from your phone too. So I could have been out of the water and just tapped that oyster bar button, and now I can see all the oysters near me. Like really is. This is a very big deal. This isn't our big revelation, but this is a really big deal.
Yeah, we got bigger stuff even coming, but yeah, this is sick. I mean, look at all these oyster bars.
Yeah, here's a classic example of like the reflection of the water, and you can't see anything here. And then as soon as you turn it on, then it just highlights it. And then as I pan, it'll just keep bringing in all the other ones. I can back up and let's see, there's some down here. So let's go into the seagrass. So I'll go back into this. This area's got a lot of them, but so if I click on seagrass, now you're going to see these seagrass patches in relation to the oyster beds, and they're highlighted in green. And then obviously the oyster beds aren't gray. So then you can see some oyster beds that have a little bit of grass mixed in between, and those would be prime spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my personal favorite fishing spots, almost all of them have both oysters and seagrass next to each other. So with using both of them, you can, especially with areas like this, like not many areas have this many oysters. So you can start to isolate the ones that are most likely going to have to be the feeding zones, and those are the ones that have the oysters and the seagrass combined. Like that point, like that one that's kind of middle to the right, there's a point of grass on the oysters. Like that. That's one. But where they're combined, that's going to be the ideal zones.
I have a feeling Bird Island is a pretty good spot to fish. Golly. If you guys are listening to this, you have to watch this episode. I mean, just that screen right there that you had, Nick, that is crazy. So everything green is the grass, and everything in, I guess we're going to call that gray, are the oyster beds. Wow. That is so cool. Again,
and the fact that both are in one platform that's user friendly, that has never been done before. Again, at least not that I've seen. I've done a lot of research over the years, just trying to find shortcuts, and this is the biggest shortcut I've ever seen as far as finding good spots for shallow water redfish, sea trout, snook, and flounder.
Oh, it's a question we get all the time. I'm like, hey, how do I read these different satellite maps, right? Do I go to Google Bing MapQuest? Which one's the best to find oyster bars? We get that question all the time. Now we can skip all of it and just say, go to your Smart Fishing Spots app, and boom, in a click of a button, you can see all of it.
Yeah. And you still have like your shaded relief and your marine chart, so you can see the depths as well as the satellite view. But let's go to some other areas. So we've got some. I'm going to turn off these. We can go down, like Sarasota Bay has some. So you can see all along the mangroves here, there's some. And then let me go up here. See, all along here.
These are all oysters, yeah.
I've fished a lot of these areas, and I've literally seen like some of my favorite spots lighting up because again, they're holding
Palmasola Bay and all the grass and all the oysters. Seems like they tend to be around kind of the edge there, but at least in this area. And then this is what area is this? Perico Bay.
Yeah, so this area, has clear water, so you can see a lot of it from the online maps, but this is even more powerful in areas where murky water, like Jacksonville, areas that you can't really see much clarity all on online maps, and again, it's all available for the entire state of Florida.
Let's head over to Texas. It's not just Florida.
So oyster beds. So here's Texas, and you can see how they're highlighted. And this is another example where you can't really see on the satellite imagery, but it highlights them right there.
Ooh, that is sick.
And keep in mind, as you pan, it loads in more. So when you back out, it'll just load within 100-mile radius of the center. So we have them all the way up the coast here. So you just have to zoom in, and then you'll see where they are.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable that is this easy.
Yeah, look at this area. Looks good. That might be a like a farm or something. I don't know.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So I know Texas doesn't have the seagrass like we have in Florida per se.
Correct.
Do they have any? Is there any that?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, we're still kind of doing some research on that, seeing what data we can pull.
So yes, Texas does have seagrass. In case there's confusion, we just haven't loaded it into this platform yet, but that's on the way.
Yeah. So we just want to get this out as quickly as possible. Literally, as soon as we have it loaded, we want to get it out to the members so they can start fishing these spots.
That is awesome. So the Carolinas as well for oysters?
Yeah, Carolinas. I don't have that in there yet, but there were a ton of them up there. So a lot of oysters up in Carolinas.
Yeah, and when I was in Georgia last year, we fished a lot of oyster beds. Does Georgia have the data too?
It's not loaded up yet.
But it will be.
Yes.
Sweet.
Go down awesome. To where else you want to look at?
I mean,
this is another area. I've fished this before in Rookery Bay. This is near Naples and just north of Marco. And I did have a hard time because there's just a lot of sediment. There's not much grass in this area, and there's a lot of sediment, so the online maps aren't very clear. And had I had this, it would have been so much easier to find the zones. I ended up going to that shoreline right there in that Hall Bay and caught some fish there, but those are the only oysters I could see from the map. I couldn't see any of those other oysters from the maps.
Wow.
And that would have been a huge shortcut.
Guys, how cool is this? This is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Because I mean, normally we'd have to do these, spot dissection, and we're having to switch back and forth the different maps to say, man, is that an oyster bar? Or what is that? And you're a lot of times just kind of hoping and praying that you got it just based on how it looks. And this is kind of done for you. I almost feel bad for the fish, but I don't.
Yeah, anybody fishing up in the Atlantic side too.
Yeah, look at the reflections here, and then this just kind of points them right out.
And going up north, St. Augustine has it. It's really the entire coastline of Florida has both the grass and the oysters loaded, and we'll be filling in gaps too. This really is.
Here's St. Augustine area.
Yeah, I actually fished that exact bay right there, and the fish were exactly where those docks and oysters combined, right down there.
Yeah, look at that right there.
That's exactly where I was catching them, and I had no idea the oysters were there from the maps.
Salt Run. Look at all the boats in there. God, that's
I
crazy.
don't think there's much grass in that area. They're probably
Okay.
green.
This is so cool.
There's a whole bunch back here.
Oh yeah, man, look at that. So take it off and let's see. Yeah, I mean, you would see a couple of them, but you would never, if you were just scanning that on a normal Google satellite map, you would never know there was that many oysters in that area.
Look at that.
Look at that. That's nuts. Guys, this is game changing. And this isn't even like the big news for July. But this will be, it sounds like Florida's done, Texas is done. So we'll probably just release it, Nick.
Yep.
In stages, not to have to have the Florida people wait on the Carolinas, and we're just going to keep piling these things in. And then, as I said, July, wait for some even more exciting news that's just going to make it so much easier to find the fish, because that's the thing we're solving for, right? Our members, they're busy people. You're busy people, right? When we hit the water, we don't like to just sit there and fish. We want to be catching. And one of the hardest things about fishing in general is just finding the best spots. And, he or she who has the best fishing spots usually catches the most fish. And assuming you're a decent caster and know how to retrieve and all that. But the spots is the thing. Like, that's always that number one variable. And so, like, all right, how can we make this easier for our 30,000 plus insider members to find the fish fast as humanly possible? And so that's what we're waking up every morning. And guys like Nick are waking up every morning, who happens to be a pretty hardcore angler himself. And he's like, all right, what would I want in here? What's something else that we can add just to help people have as much information at their fingertips and the snap of a finger to be able to find honey holes? And this is next level. The next piece of news, which will be kind of the V2, will be even, it's going to probably shock a lot of people, and maybe even put some other companies out of business. It's like that good. And then the third round is like something that's, I don't think the round 2 or 3 have ever been done before. I believe it's something we could even patent. I'm so pumped. I can't wait for you guys to see this, but this is exciting in and of itself. For all you members, you'll have access to this probably as you're watching this. It should be live, and play around with it. Give us some feedback, and for some other states, if Virginia, I mean, we're going to try to get this for every state that we possibly can, as long as the data is out there and imported in here. And as Nick said, the cool part is you can sit there and make tracks around this and then export it to your unit, or however the heck you want to use that. Super, super helpful. And Luke, you said recently you were doing some more nearshore stuff, and I mean, while you're on your phone, you can literally see that you're on top of the structure that it's showing. I mean, it's pretty doggone precise.
Yeah, and what Nick was showing is you can plot out a route, and you can just click on or tap on the spots, on the specific spots that look good. Like, so in this case, you can do like the points of the oyster bars where the oysters and the grass meet, or you can go on the shade relief, and which is what I was doing, the shade relief for the deeper water, and I could actually see rocks, and I would just click on each rock, export that data into the CXV file, I believe is what it was, and that's what goes into the Garmin unit that I have, and then I would just upload it into the unit, and then I now have like 40 spots along the Tampa Bay shipping channel that I know they're rocks, and that's where the fish are holding. And so it's surprisingly easy. Even like, I'm not a tech guy by any means, and I was able to pretty easily figure it out.
Yeah, I can do a quick demo here. So you just do your route tool, and then let's say if you want to fish these little spots here, you can kind of do that, and it'll give you the GPS coordinates. And then you can save it, and then from there you can export it as a GPX. Actually, we have a couple of different formats when you export it, and then it gives you the file. That
can you show up? Can you do that real quick?
Yeah, let me so I'll go ahead and I'll save this as test route. Okay, and then we'll go through. I'll choose my test route, and we've got a GPX, which is pretty standard for your fish finders, your different GPS devices. And then there's a KML file, which a lot of people use Google Earth. So you can download the KML file and import it into Google Earth that way. You can also just use this on your phone, use Smart Fishing Spots on your phone, and you can just see the route there because we do have a locate button. It'll locate you and you can record a track so you can see where you are in relation to the route. So you have a couple different options.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. It's and then you can clear it. Once you clear it, it just removes it from the map. You still have it in your saved routes.
Cool.
If only we had this years ago.
It's absolutely next level. And as Luke said earlier, this is technically a progressive app. So it looks just like an app, sits on your phone just like normal. You're always logged in. Once you do it once, you can put on your tablet. I know a lot of people are taking their tablets out while they're fishing just to have a little bit, bigger and brighter screen. And of course, your laptop, because a lot of this, the power of this is done off the water, right? The pre-trip planning, just like we're doing, right now. Because the bigger your screen, just the more you're going to get out of this, at least in my opinion. But as Luke said, it is nice, even if you're in a brand new spot and you forgot to do all your pre-trip planning and you're out there, you could literally have it on your phone, hit a button, just like we're doing here. It looks just like this, just shrunk it down on your phone, and then boo bam sham, you got every oyster bar in the area and or seagrass if it's available. So cool.
Yeah. In fact, I put a tablet mount on the console of my boat so I can have a tablet right there and I can pull it up real quick.
Pretty smart.
Yes, sir.
What the heck is that?
It's the Skyway Bridge.
That's the bridge. I was like, all right.
Bridge, yeah. I'm moving around real fast, so it's kind of jumping around.
Unbelievable.
There it goes.
Well, yeah, we don't want to give away too much here.
Okay, all right.
That's only for our members. So yeah, guys, if you've been on the fence about joining, hopefully this puts you over the edge. I mean, this is just one of the things that we're doing for our insider members. We have some people who come in for the discounts, the tackle discounts, excite a lot of people just because you can save hundreds, or even we had some members save thousands of dollars just on their tackle, because we do give really amazing discounts. And we've partnered up with a lot of these companies I can't name, but they're really massive brands that you get anywhere from 10 to 20% off that's not in our store. These are separate partnerships we have on our discount page. So if you current members, if you weren't aware of this, we have a really awesome discount page that is getting updated every single week that shows all of your discounts with all the big brands. So a lot of people come in for that. And then a lot of people, come in just for the shortcuts. As I mentioned earlier, we're busy. We want to have confidence when we hit the water, and we have everything from little mini courses to Luke doing a 10-minute game plan every Friday. So every Friday morning, a 10-minute game plan that basically curates everything going on in the entire Southeast and really just kind of reveals, here's the type of spots and the depths and even lures of bait you want to be using this weekend. So we do that every single week. And then our fishing coaches go out and fish a new spot every single day, Monday through Friday. So we're literally doing an on the water report. This is the stuff you can't find out there on YouTube. No one's literally showing you the spot and where they launched and where they saw fish, where they got bait, all literally showing you everything in a brand new spot every single day. And it starts in Texas, and we got Pat now traveling all up and down the coast, fishing brand new spots, showing how this stuff can work, and even fishing with our members. And then Luke and Tony and Justin are going out and hit new areas as well. Luke's even doing some nearshore stuff now. I know you have a report here this week with nearshore. And that's really exciting with this app too, just because of all the stuff you can see on that 3D shaded relief. It's so sick. So join us today if you haven't at saltshore.com. For you current members, you're welcome. I mean, this is next level. This wasn't even part of the original plan, I'll be honest. And and that's from feedback from you guys. So keep the feedback coming. We realized that we could do this with a little bit of coding, and boom, here it is in a pretty short amount of time. So Nick, kudos to you. Huge, man, just a huge add-on here. This is, in my opinion, one of the most valuable things, just to be able to find oyster bars, because that guy in Texas said, if I can only fish one spot, I'm going to hit oysters, because there's always a food source there, right? That's usually where you see birds, and that's usually where you're going to have redfish and trout and snook and flounder pulling up to it. It's the dinner bells ringing when that tide starts coming in. So
yeah, the cool thing about this, I'll add one thing. The cool thing about this platform, but right now we have all of Florida and Texas for oysters, and more are going to be loaded, and you don't have to upload the software. It's not like an app where any change you have to redo, and and upload it. It happens automatically. So as soon as we add more stuff, you automatically get it. You don't have to do anything extra.
Yep. And same with the weather. I'm now using this smart fishing spots for my weather and my radar. I mean, if you hit one of those days, Nick, just up above, you hit any day and it breaks out everything. Even for you that really want to see the pressure. I mean, you have everything on there broken out by hour. And this is updating how often, Nick?
It's like every 10 minutes.
Okay. I said 15. So every 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, 10 to 15.
And as you see, there's no ads. So my traditional weather apps, there's ads popping up all the time, driving crazy. I'm trying to like tap to like zoom in. I click on an ad. Now I got to deal with that. So ad free, just for insiders. It's all in one spot. This is way better than I thought it was going to be when we first went down this route. Like this really is remarkable. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be this good.
Yeah,
and more
weather coming our way, huh?
Yeah. Looks like here's one thing I like to do is we're actually building just a quick measurement tool, but for right now I just use routes. So I can kind of go like this and get an idea of how far that cell is offshore, 21 nautical miles. That'll kind of give me an idea. But we're going to do a quick little measurement tool too, because a lot of people are asking for that. So
cool. That's
the other thing about this platform is we're getting a lot of member feedback. So when members send us ideas, we build it out. So it's like, it's all inclusive of their ideas too.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go fishing before this rain comes, boys.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys. We appreciate you big time. Make sure to log in. If you're a current member, Smart Fishing Spots app, get it on your phone, get it on your tablet. Obviously, it's unlimited access to all this stuff. And if you're not a member, what the heck are you waiting on? Someone to grab you by the hand and show you where to fish every week? Because that's just one of the many things that we do. So go to saltstrong.com to join. You'll see a little button to join the Insider Club. And the best news, it's risk-free. We put our money where our mouth is. So if you don't think it's the best fishing investment ever, just let us know. We'll give you your money back. No hard feelings. And we want our software back now. So guys, love you. Appreciate you. Nick, awesome job. And we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace. We out.
Sounds good.
See ya.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul. It was pain.